Yes, I have an explanation for this, don't worry.
In the mostly harmless world of online fitness, influencers have mastered the art of saying precisely nothing new with remarkable confidence and with an aura of excitability as if they have found the cure to cancer or even better, the secret to getting goth girls. And among these influencers, there exists a peculiar phenomenon called as Dr. Mike is rhetoric. By the way, I'm totally aware that Dr. Mike has the ability to bifurcate my jaws from my physical body, especially after the things I'm about to say in this video. I really hope I never see him in real life. If universe somehow had a way of converting word count into cellular organisms, Dr. Mike's content would have long ago achieved sentience on their own and started their own YouTube channel. In pretty much the same way that some restaurants solve the problem of indecisive customers by providing a menu that is the size of a small novel, Mike has solved the problem of incomplete fitness information by simply providing all of it. Every single bit, every single last bit, even the ones I did not know and even the ones I did not want to know. Whenever a query is put in front of him, Dr. Mike explains everything with a thoroughness that can almost make an encyclopedia feel self-conscious about its brevity. It is almost like he has perfected the art of making the seemingly simple questions feel like they are being answered by a supercomputer, and not just any normal supercomputer, because that shit was trained on thousands of scientific journals, along with sharing a peculiar fondness for certain type of jokes that can only be described as things not to be said in public and only to be uttered on a confessional stand. Father, please forgive me. I have fantasies of getting my head crushed in between the thighs of a woman with BMI over 40. The thing about Mike is, he not only knows a lot, he also has the credibility. I mean, it's hard to bullshit around 2700 videos, right? Unless you're... He has the strength, he has the size, he has the PhD. His signature move, which is less of a move and more of a temporal commitment, it is to take something that could be a 20-word answer and transform it into something that is filled with nuances and humor and also makes Shakespeare's Hamlet look like a tweet. He approaches the questions about protein intake with the same gravity that most people reserve for contemplation about the fundamental nature of reality, because to Mike, they might just be the same thing. It's also quite understandable if the verbosity and the nuances of the answers may not appeal to all.
I just wanted to know if I can drink Diet Coke or not. Why is it 40 minutes long?
Why the fuck is he talking about evolutionary psychology now?
When I want to know how many carbs should I eat after my workout, I am not expecting to watch a 23-minute video. I want you to say 40 grams. If I want to learn how to French kiss, I'm not watching a 2-hour podcast where some guy talks about the history of kissing and tongue anatomy, lip formation. I'm more of a 20-second reel guy where some random guy tells me to put butter on my tongue and practice on my dog. I like my influencers like my coffee. Does not have a brain and does not affect my cognitive homeostasis. I use that word to make it seem as if I'm smart. The videos often have a set template. They start with innocent questions like, how do I get titties like Captain America and get attention from goth girls? Then the rest of the video is just Mike forming arguments as to why what he says is true, using analogies, logical thought patterns, and with lots and lots of humor and inside jokes about Mike being an openly closeted homosexual, his Lambos, virgin loser with no life so that fans can relate, along with lots and lots of perverted and violent fantasies. These gags and jokes are repeated to such a degree that they themselves become quite normalized and you just go, yeah, that's just Mike, man. At times it may seem as if the man has taken upon himself to fight the global trend of reduced attention spans. If you ask Mike on how to make a sandwich, the guy will pause for a second and then start speaking about the agricultural revolution and then continue his way forward. In the middle, you will realize that you should note this down and write a book out of this, and that is how Yuval Harari wrote The Sapiens. The truly remarkable thing about Mike's content is not its comprehensiveness, but how much simple it is, as if to be consumed by the everyday man. If you are a total novice, the sheer amount of content may seem a bit daunting at first, like trying to drink water directly from a fire hydrant, or as Mike would say, like trying to deep throat a 12-inch penis down your throat when you are not even sure if you're gay yet. Now some people might suggest that this level of excessive details are quite excessively excessive. This only tells me that these people have never experienced the peculiar joy of having a simple question about repetition ranges transform into something that can be called as the very fabric of exercise science itself. One of the most interesting thing about Mike's content is that despite him being a science guy, it's quite rare of him to mention meta-analysis, literature reviews, studies, PubMed links. The videos are just Mike forming a rhetoric out of his centuries worth of lifting experience. Science already has this big enough gap between the researcher and the everyday person. So this study by Dildo Labs and colleagues. Let's leave all this bullshit to Jeff Nippard only.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jeff Nippard. I actually like your content.
Even if you listen to the more respectable fitness science podcasts like Iron Culture, Stronger by Science, these guys often end up talking as if they belong on the cast of Big Bang Theory.
You know, the p-value is actually around 0.056, so it's slightly above the significant range, but it might just be acceptable. Ha ha ha. If I adjust the weekly volume for circadian rhythm, nutrition timing, and the phase of the moon, 42 sets per week is actually quite insufficient for optimal hypertrophy.
In the end, Mike stands as a testament to the proposition that if something is worth explaining, then it is worth explaining with the sort of thoroughness that can make a doctoral committee quite nervous. In the world of online fitness, where influencers almost compete to see who can provide the least value while saying the most shit, Mike has chosen the path less traveled, providing the most value while saying the most stuff, regardless of people asking for it or not.
最後の街の蝶々近くで見るとこの布面積の少なさやっぱ異常だわリアルだとすごい迫力うわーうまい失礼だぞ